This is what I wish I knew when I was younger. And if you went through some hard times when you were a child or a teenager or a young adult, then maybe this video can help you too. First of all, you are enough. Don't ever doubt that, because you always were enough and you'll always be enough. And there's nothing that you need to do or say. You don't need to change anything about yourself to be enough, because you already are. I know that you feel that you have this hole within you that you cannot fill with anything, and that you try so much in so many different ways, but everything that you try is not from love. It is from lack. It is from pain. So those things will never bring you the peace that you seek, because they're not peaceful in themselves. When you harm yourself, you will never get love through that. You are going to be so fulfilled, but in a different way than what you're expecting. You are going to realize true fulfillment is being at peace with who you are, is accepting who you are, and not searching for the answers outside of you, but inside of you, because only you know your path. Look at all the decisions that you made that made no sense to everyone around you. You picked yourself up and you put yourself out in the world. And that took guts. You needed to be brave. And you were. And you were. And I wish I could go back in time to give you such a big hug and to give you so much credit for what you did. Only you know truly how much courage it took for you to take the steps that you needed to take in order to get where you wanted to. All the pain and all the hurt and all the sadness and all the anger that you carried within yourself for so long, that drove you to do those things that you were scared of doing. But pain was always one step behind you. And if you stopped running away from it, it would catch you. And let me break it down for you. It did. It did, but it didn't break you. It didn't break you. You were so scared of facing all that shit that you have been suppressing and repressing for all your childhood, all your teenage years, that when you finally did confront it because you had nowhere else to run, that was bittersweet. It freed you a lot. It gave you space to have different feelings. The more that you felt stuff that you didn't want to feel, the more that you released it, the more that you made space so good stuff could now come in. But it's gonna get you mad at yourself that you waited so long to do this, but it's okay, because it's part of your path. I think you don't give yourself enough credit for the stuff that you do, for how much you willingly put yourself through discomfort to come back stronger on the other side. If you ran away from being uncomfortable, you wouldn't have this life. You wouldn't even live in this house. You are such an intense person, and you spent so much time thinking that was wrong. And it's only now that you are learning that it's okay. It's okay to be intense. It's okay to love very deeply. It's okay to hurt very deeply also. That doesn't make you less than anyone else. You just have a lot of feelings, and that's okay. Even if people around you don't understand that and don't agree with that, that doesn't make you wrong. You cannot expect from shallow people to understand your depth. That loneliness that you feel is not because you don't have people around you, but it's really because a lot of times those people around you don't see your depth. And that can be a little bit your fault, because sometimes you don't let people all the way in. But that's also a reflection on themselves and not only on you, because people can only go so deep as they're willing to go with themselves. You cannot expect someone that doesn't feel their feelings, that runs away from every ounce of discomfort to understand yours. And you've never given yourself enough credit for the way that you allow yourself to go through discomfort. Not a lot of people do this kind of work the way that you do it. That doesn't make you better than anyone else. This is not an ego thing. This is really a heart thing, because you have never been afraid to put your heart on the line. You have never been afraid to be vulnerable. I mean, you were afraid, but you went and did it anyway. You still do that. You still feel afraid of your intensity and of your vulnerability and the way that your heart, especially now that you are more aware of it, sometimes your heart still screams stuff and you have to do it. And that scares you shitless, but you keep doing it, and there's really nothing more beautiful than that. I know it can be very lonely when you allow vulnerability to come through and it's just met by a wall from other people, because they don't have this kind of vulnerability with themselves and with the world in general. But that says more about them than it says about you. I wish I could tell you things, save yourself from some pain, but that would take away from your experience, and that would take away from your knowledge and from your maturity that you have today. So I'm not gonna say those things. I wish you would know that just because you love someone, they're not meant to stay in your life forever. That can be about friends, that can be about romantic people in your life, that can be about family. There are people that you are gonna meet that are gonna have a very big impact on you, in a good way and in a bad way. And you can hold both things at the same time. You are gonna have friends with whom you love that are gonna betray you and are gonna do things and behave in ways in which you didn't expect, but that is okay. And you will learn after a few years have passed from all those situations that everything worked out for the better. Even them leaving your life is playing a bigger role. Even if you cannot see it right now, that is making space in your life for other people that are more aligned. I wish I could tell you that no one, absolutely no one, will ever understand what it's like to live within your mind. You are the only one that truly knows what goes on and how you feel and how much certain things affect you. Everyone else in your life, even people that are like the closest to you, that love you deeply, those people can only understand a portion of what goes on. And if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, which I know you didn't have for a long time, something will always be missing inside you, because the most important person in your life ever is not there rooting for you, and that is yourself. If you don't trust yourself, if you don't respect yourself, if you don't love yourself the way that you deserve to be loved, no one can fulfill that role for you. People can teach you these things slowly, but they cannot do the work for you. You are gonna meet the most amazing man that treats you in a way that you never expected to be treated, but still his love will not fulfill you in all the ways that you expect it to. And that will be very confusing for a little bit, until you realize that what he's doing is just giving you the space and allowing you and showing you that you deserve love too, and you can give yourself love too. I feel like I'm rambling a lot. I had no script for this, but I hope in some way that this resonated, that you found it helpful for any reason at all. And just know that you are a work in progress, and that's a beautiful thing. The place that you are today, find grace in it, because someday you are gonna look back and you are gonna miss it, or maybe not miss it, but accept it for what it was. You're gonna understand, like, every phase in our lives is a different thing on its own. Once it passes, you cannot have it back. Even in situations that when you're going through it, you are thinking, yeah, this is so hard, this is not what I want, I wish I could be in a different place, or whatever it is. Like, you are going to look back at those times in your life and you're going to realize stuff that you had, that you took for granted and that you didn't know you had. I look back into my life now, and there are like 2 years when I was 20 and 21. Those 2 years were amazing. Like, they were not amazing, but they were great years. And looking back, I wouldn't change anything. But during those times, I felt so lost. I didn't know what I was doing with my life. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. I kept getting myself into weird situations with people. I had no boundaries. I didn't speak up for myself. During this, like, these were the things that I was seeing. I just broke up with my long-term boyfriend. Oh, this guy broke my heart. Oh, I am so lost professionally. I don't know what I want to do. I have no degree and I'm having a breakdown about it because a lot of my high school friends went to university and I didn't. And what does that make me? And all of that was going on. But I look back at exactly those things right now, and it was perfect for what it was. It was not perfect because it was actually perfect, like everything was together and tied with a neat little bow, but it was perfect. And I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change anything. And I think that's really the beauty of life. One thing I really understood is that you have to find peace and beauty within the chaos of your own life, because something will always be wrong, or not wrong, but you will always want something to be different. You will always want to be more aligned with your work, your house. You want to have a better house. You want to have more stability, more love, more this, more that, more money, more traveling, more everything. We are always searching for more. But where does that line stop? When can you start looking at, okay, I want to be there, but here is good enough already?